there, cover the puck used by
blocks the layup attempt. That's big time by Giannis. Lakers regain the lead.
Hello everyone. This season was a particular odd season with all the load management, tanking, and other sorts of things. High scoring games, second highest scoring game of all time in NBA history was this year. 2 people scored. 2? Is it 2? Or is it 3? I think 2 people scored 71 points this year. Just craziness. This season has absolutely been a mind-boggling season. A season, I hope. Well, anyways, I'm not going to go there. But, as you know, it's the end of the season. Lots of teams didn't get to the playoffs. Some probably could have, but they decided to do something stupid. But starting out in my exit interviews, the Detroit Pistons. There was no hope for this team. This season, especially after Cade Cunningham went out with that foot injury back in November, there was no season. But they do have a future with Cade, Jaden Ivey, Killian Hayes, and now with James Wiseman. At one point in time, a friend of mine said that the Pistons can rival the Bucks this year.
delusions.
Get Victor. The San Antonio Spurs, man, talk about a team falling off from its glory. But it was expected when all the glory's gone. But the glory days could come back with the potential of Kenan Johnson and Jeremy Shockman, but who knows how long Popovich has left coaching this team. Get Victor. The Houston Rockets, similar to the teams mentioned, have potential. But my man wearing women's clothes, what is his name? Jalen Green has to become more of a beneficial to the team and not always putting up empty stats. But they got potential with Jabari Smith Jr., Kenyon Martin Jr., and that guy number 28. Name I'm not even going to try to pronounce and embarrass myself. Maybe Get Victor. Charlotte Hornets have always been a disappointment. I guess Jordan is selling the team now. They lost Melo for the season. Just so bad luck. I think the last 2 years they were actually in the play-in. They got smoked last year against the Hawks and got smoked 2 years ago by the Pacers. This team actually had a above 500 record last year. Sad. Portland Trailblazers. Man, get rid of Damian Lillard already. Free Dame Dollar, for God's sake, and move on. Why are we keeping this long? Anyways, the Indiana Pacers. They got a good squad for the future. Talk about a team that can actually rival the Bucks and the Cavs, but this team, with the rise of Tyrese Halliburton and Benedict Mathurin, I hope I pronounced that right, also with the mainstays of Buddy Hield and Miles Turner, they have hope. The Orlando Magic. Just a couple years ago, they went to the playoffs back-to-back, didn't they? Well, they might have the team for the future as well, but it's been some time. Funny, like I just mentioned, this team was a playoff team a couple years ago back-to-back, avoiding getting swept in the bubble by the Bucks. But Paolo Banchero probably needs to improve his shooting below 29% from 3. Probably even a little bit higher from all field goal range. But yeah, improvement is needed for this team. The Washington Wizards, well, they almost got there. They were in the playoff run. It was even in the play-in. But I guess they ain't getting back there. Bradley Beal being injured had something to do with it. He's another person that might need to move on from that team that drafted him, because this ain't working. Maybe he can become a above average role player for a champion and let the rest of the team figure it out. The Utah Jazz. I do say it's sad the way the Jazz went over the last couple of years. Almost 2 years ago, they was a first seed, but bowed out to the Clippers in the semifinals without Kawhi Leonard in Game 7. And last year wasn't any better as they became victim of Luka Magic. And then they lose everyone over the summer, well, most of the starters. They did look promising in the beginning. At the very start of the year, the team was 10-3 behind the efforts of the newly acquired Lauri Markkanen. But it wouldn't last long. They kept the fight up, especially after the trade that sent their key pieces to help Jay Reed from Akron down in LA, and then Mike Conley to Minnesota with the overrated Rudy Gobert. No, Westbrook too. But Jazz fans, it's all not lost. there is hope on the horizon. Hopefully. We got Danny Ainge. Hopefully. And last but not least, the Dallas Mavericks. Alright. The Dallas Mavericks ended their season poorly. A piss poor effort. Luka was on fire for the beginning. He looked like an MVP candidate. But a candidate without defensive prowess. That's a no in my book. Luka needs help, so they say. So let's go out and send his help to New York for one Kyrie Irving. That'll do the trick. We already lost Jalen Brunson in the offseason, signing a promised Christian Wood, but Jason Kidd doesn't like him. Man, good deeds, good trades, good everywhere. Alright, anyways, you get the picture. If you've been following this team, Mark Cuban, I have words for you that I cannot say on here other than you're a selfish prick. And the fans deserve better. You should be punished immediately for your tanking, because that's what you did here. There was a chance for them to do something, but they... You blew it! Team's a mess. Kyrie Irving doesn't gel right, it seems. This team lacks defense. They're predictable because Luka always has the ball in his hand. It's easy to defend him. He ain't the fastest thing on the court. And lastly, for Luka, get your fat ass in shape and stop eating all the ho-hos, drinking all the beer, eating all the Popeyes and ribs and barbecue down in Dallas. Fat ass, get your ass on the treadmill after the end of the season.